from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Elena Tomish.
And I'm Peyton Polat. Our top story tonight. A victim reported being assaulted at the Sigma Alpha Epsilon house between late Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Following the report, a protest took place Tuesday night around 8:30 p.m. outside the Sigma Alpha Epsilon house. UNLPD is also currently investigating 2 other sexual assaults, all reported in the last week. One of the assaults was reported happened at the Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity, the other happening on UNL property. If you have any information, you can contact the UNLPD at 402-472-2222.
An overturned semi has the Lincoln Fire and Rescue closing off the I-80 to Highway 77 ramp. The semi was driving on the off-ramp heading south when it tipped over, spilling the pesticides it was carrying. There were no other vehicles involved in the wreck, and nobody was seriously injured during the crash, yet hazmat crews have closed down the ramp and are cleaning the pesticides. Drivers are recommended to travel westward on the exit 395, then hop back onto the I-80 to get to Highway 77.
Aging Partners is helping older adults with free digital literacy workshops in Lincoln. Students from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Honors Program, fraternity members, and other volunteers help teach the one-on-one sessions. The workshops help teach essential skills like how to use smartphones, tablets, computers, and how to stay safe online. According to a report by the FBI, people older than 60 lost around $3.4 billion due to scams last year. Besides keeping them safe, the workshops also empower seniors to stay connected with family and access resources. Randall Jones, Director of Aging Partners, has more.
Technology can be a lifeline for many of the seniors. Maybe their family doesn't live here. Maybe they need to access groceries that are delivered. Perhaps they want to download photos, and it provides a social connection for them. And so technology is going so fast, it's hard to keep up with it. And so for many of these seniors, just some simple advice that helps them utilize that technology to live happier lives. But the interaction between the student and the senior is magical. It's intergenerational. And you see conversations happening between the senior and the student, and they're laughing and they're intermingling. And that's another great benefit to it.
Well, a Frank-tastic vehicle made its way to campus this week. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile arrived in Lincoln on Thursday. Hayden Hudson reports this morning from outside of the Lincoln Children's Museum.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile parked its buns in Lincoln this week. They talked to community members, posed for photo ops, and even gave out Wiener-themed nicknames. For those of you wondering, my nickname, Hot Dog Hayden.
They say cheesy weenie. Cheesy weenie.
This Frank-tastic vehicle is one of 6 in the world. It's 60 hot dogs long, 24 hot dogs high, and 140,500 hot dogs in weight.
I was mind blown. I was like, there's no way the Wienermobile is in Lincoln, Nebraska.
All events at the Wienermobile are free, encouraging all visitors to have a great time, be creative, and be themselves. Driving the Wienermobile are brand ambassadors Mustard Matt and Pickle Pip.
We actually were yesterday. We were just driving around campus, giving rides to University of Nebraska students. Like, we just saw people, and if they were really excited, we were like, "Let's go, spread the joy," and just like give them a ride around campus. And so, like, just being able to share that special moment with someone is just like truly incredible, and I love it so much. So,
reporting for Nebraska Nightly, Hayden Hudson.
If you were wondering, Nebraska Nightly's hot dog name is Nacho Nebraska Nightly Dog. Tomorrow, the hot dog will be in Seward, Nebraska, at the Home for Holidays Craft and Vendor Show.
Governor Jim Pillen announced Wednesday that Department of Labor Commissioner John Albin will retire next month. Albin has worked for the department for 35 years, serving as the general counsel, legislative liaison, and administrative law judge. Pillen says Albin's length of service speaks volume about his commitment to public service. Pillen will announce further information on an interim leader and a permanent director appointment at a later date.
On November 3rd, the Lincoln Children's Zoo welcomed a baby giraffe into their herd. Zoo officials say the male calf could stand up only an hour after his birth and measures just under 6 feet tall. He weighs 130 pounds, and Mother Allie and calf, whose name will be revealed at a later date, are doing well. Visitors are welcome to see the baby giraffe starting Sunday, November 17th in the indoor giraffe barn.
And there's more news from the Lincoln Children's Zoo. They're announcing the birth of triplet red pandas. The 2 male and 1 female red panda cubs were born back in August to third-time mom, Tien, and second-time dad, Rowan. Red pandas are listed as endangered on the International Union Conservation of Nature's Red List of Threatened Species. That means they face a very high risk of extinction in the wild. Tien and the 3 red panda cubs will likely be on exhibit in December. Names for each cub have not been decided yet and will be announced later. Lincoln Children's Zoo CEO Evan Killeen says red pandas' population declined by 50% over the last 20 years. He says the birth of these triplets is important for animal conservation efforts and to raise awareness of the threat to their survival.
Well, sticking with the theme of animals, Nebraska Nightly Kay Badberg has more on a therapy petting zoo.
If you're looking for a place to meet interesting animals with your family, Scatterjoy Acres is the place for you.
Animals have always been therapeutic to me and helped me through some times in my life, and so we started this nonprofit rescuing animals to help rescue people.
Scatterjoy Acres is a 15-acre nonprofit urban rescue ranch outside of Murray, Nebraska that has been in operation for nearly the past 2 decades. The ranch offers 3 animal-assisted therapy programs and is open as a petting zoo 7 days a week.
We have guests that come and think that they're just coming to love and pet on animals, and there's other things going on in their life. And later on, we may get phone calls or emails from those individuals saying, hey, we just came to visit, and I just want you to know that the wolves helped me.
Dr. Lisa Carr said that while there is limited research on the benefits of visiting petting zoos, being near animals can positively impact a person's well-being.
A lot of times people feel comfort being around animals, and that's been shown in children through adults, right? That there's a benefit to having that animal around to decrease your stress.
Joy Bartling said that the most rewarding part of running the ranch is seeing the animals learn to trust again and seeing them help visitors do the same.
As the animals work through their trust issues and abandonment issues, they teach the clients that they too can overcome and achieve the things that they need to achieve in their life.
Reporting for Nebraska Nightly, I'm Kay Badberg.
After a week of wet weather, the sun is shining in the capital city, and meteorologist Logan Schlottman has this next week's forecast to see if that sunshine is going to stay. Logan?
Yeah, let's take a look at some brief headlines. As from today on to Sunday, we should be seeing some more above average temperatures as expected, probably around in the 60s to mid 60s. While going on to Monday, that's where we're going to be seeing our best chance for rain for next week, which is going to be widespread precipitation. But the highest amounts we're going to be seeing is going to be in southeast Nebraska. While going on from Tuesday to Friday, we might start feeling the effects of actual fall and potentially some winter, as we're going to be seeing a cooling of a temperature trend. So maybe in the 30s and also 40s as well. I'll have your full forecast right after the break.
Thank you, Logan. Coming up after the break.
President Trump makes cabinet appointments.
An Alaska Airlines flight makes an emergency landing.
And India attempts to combat air pollution. All after the break.
Okay.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to. It can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Tonight on Nebraska Nightly. Welcome back. It's starting to feel a bit cooler outside, and meteorologist Logan Schlottman has your 10-day forecast to see how long these fall conditions will last. Logan?
Yeah, let's take a look at our current temperatures across the state right now. As over in the west side of the Panhandle in the Sandhills, we'll be seeing maybe 50s and some 40s with over in eastern Nebraska, especially in Columbus where it's 58, 59 up in Norfolk, and then 56 down in Omaha. Taking a current look at Lincoln, sunny conditions, 60 degrees. Wind speeds are going to be our main piece right now that we're seeing, with a southerly wind of 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 29 miles per hour. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar. As current satellite across the United States, cloudy areas over in the Great Lakes area, and same for over in the western half of the United States. But from Wisconsin down to Texas, it's mainly going to be cloud free, and same thing for southeast Nebraska, as there's not going to be a lot of clouds over in this area compared to the Sandhills and the Scotts Bluff area. We're going to be seeing cloudy conditions, which is the reason why they're going to be a little colder right now. But with those clouds and no clouds, still going to be nothing on the radar. Perfectly dry across the state. Taking a look at future wind gusts for tonight, we'll be seeing some strong gusts, potentially up to 40 miles per hour, but probably mostly in that 35 miles per hour. The strongest gust we're going to be seeing is over in eastern Nebraska with our NAMS model. This is going to take us throughout the week, and it's going to be particularly dry, except for some places in central Nebraska and eastern Nebraska could see some small chances for rain. But that big chance of rain I was talking about, that's going to be coming in Monday morning. As taking a look on our Euro model, we'll be seeing that low pressure system work its way up, bringing rain for most of central and eastern Nebraska. Right after that cold front finally pushes through, that low pressure system will rise up through Nebraska, bringing in some southerly gusts as well. Let's take a look at those rain chances past Monday. Sunday, Monday are going to be our best chances with 70%, but Tuesday and Wednesday we'll be seeing 20%, with Thursday and Friday being back to zero. So we'll be seeing a wet first start of that work week. While taking a look at your later conditions for tonight, 47 degrees, mostly cloudy, a south-southeasterly wind of 16 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, but we could see gusts up to 25 miles per hour. While taking a look at tomorrow, high of 64 degrees, a southerly 19 mile per hour wind, mostly sunny, but those gusts still could be strong, all the way up to 31 miles per hour, with temperatures starting at around 48 and making their way up to 64 degrees. Taking a look at that week ahead, we'll be seeing warmer temperatures for the next 2 days over the weekend, but as we progress through the work week, we'll be seeing that rain coming in on Monday, but then we'll be seeing more average temperatures of 50s before we start seeing that cold weather start to come in. As Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be seeing 39, 41, and 46, but it'll be partly cloudy and mostly sunny conditions. But that week ahead, we'll probably be seeing more average temperatures, except for parts of the Sandhills and the Panhandle. We'll probably see some more above average temperatures. Precipitation wise, southeastern Nebraska will probably be seeing less average rain, while over up in the Wyoming, South Dakota area, we'll probably be seeing some more rain. That's all I have for your full forecast. Back to you two.
Thank you, Logan.
President-elect Donald Trump continues to choose his nominees for the cabinet.
Trump appointed Susie Wiles as White House Chief of Staff. She was Trump's former campaign manager and the first woman to be Chief of Staff.
Marco Rubio is in line for Secretary of State. He is a Florida state senator.
Matt Gaetz is Trump's Attorney General pick. He was a U.S. representative for Florida's 1st congressional district until he re-signed on Wednesday.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is nominated to be the Health and Human Services Secretary. Kennedy is a former independent candidate.
Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk were appointed to lead an Office of Government Efficiency. Ramaswamy is an entrepreneur and Musk is a businessman.
Trump's candidate picks still have yet to be confirmed.
The full list of Trump's cabinet nominees can be found on CBS.
A former Detroit Lions linebacker has been charged with assaulting law enforcement during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. 31-year-old Antoine Williams was arrested in Savannah, Georgia on Thursday. According to a criminal complaint against him, Williams was allegedly one of the first rioters to breach the Capitol. Prosecutors say he was part of a mob that engaged in violent confrontations with law enforcement, and the former linebacker was reportedly caught on video hitting one officer on the head and shoving others. A tip led investigators to Williams after the FBI shared photos of people accused of breaching the Capitol. Agents compared riot photos with images from Williams' social media account to confirm his identity. Williams did not enter a plea deal during his first court appearance. He was released on bond and is due back in court on November 21st.
The trial of undocumented migrant accused of killing Georgia nursing student Laken Riley today. The slaying ignited fresh debate over the border crisis and garnered national attention. Ivan Rodriguez joins us from outside the courthouse with the latest.
During the state's opening statement, the prosecution used a Garmin device to help identify exactly where her location was, the time that she was killed, and even down to her heartbeat. They also showed video surveillance that they say shows Ibarra disposing of evidence. The state says that the medical examiner at GBI headquarters found Riley had complex depressed skull fractures and 8 other lacerations in her head, as well as abrasions to the face. The prosecution also showed a fingerprint that was found on Riley's phone, which they say matched Ibarra's left thumb. Hours before Riley's death, the state also detailed a peeping Tom incident. Prosecutors say that this helps paint a picture of Ibarra's intent.
He went hunting for females on the University of Georgia's campus. And in his hunt, he encountered 22-year-old Laken Riley on her morning jog. And when Laken Riley refused to be his rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly. That is what this case is all about.
The defense attorney says that the evidence is tragic and disturbing. They also say that the evidence paints a very good case showing that Laken Riley was indeed murdered, but they also go on to say that the evidence that Ibarra killed her is circumstantial. Now, some of the first witnesses that we heard from the state involved and included 2 of Riley's roommates who went searching for her after she didn't return home from her morning jog. We also heard from a University of Georgia police officer who was the first one who found Riley's body and performed CPR. In Athens, Georgia, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
An Alaska Airlines flight made an emergency landing at Los Angeles International Airport on Thursday night. Flight 309 blew out of a tire during takeoff from Dulles International Airport near Washington, D.C. The airline says the pilot declared an emergency landing as a precaution, but the Boeing 737 landed without incident. None of the 181 people on board were injured, and Alaska Airlines says its crews train extensively to safely manage these types of scenarios. The company has taken the plane out of service while it investigates the malfunction.
Maori members of New Zealand's parliament staged a haka to disrupt the vote on a bill that many claim would undermine their rights. The measure would limit interpretations of an 1840 treaty between the British Crown and Maori chiefs. Some argue it's led to discrimination against non-Indigenous citizens. Protests are ongoing across the country. An estimated 10,000 people have joined a march toward the capital dressed in traditional Maori garments and chanting songs. They're expected to arrive on Tuesday.
And India has introduced stricter measures to combat toxic air pollution. New Delhi has banned non-essential construction work as air quality plummets to severe levels. And all primary schools in Delhi will shift to online classes due to the rising pollution levels. Christy Lou Stout has the story.
A canopy of toxic smog hangs over the skies of northern India, blotting out the country's color, choking its people. Across Delhi, people go to hospital with serious respiratory problems.
Within last 15 days, there has been at least 25% rise in my OPD follow-up patient.
Many, like 65-year-old Aditya Kumar Shukla, try to stay home. So many others in Delhi are forced out into the pollution each day to work often menial jobs for little pay. People like auto driver Mohammed Ibrahim.
It feels like chili in my eyes with the pollution. When I go home in the evening and wash my hands and face, black stuff comes out of my nose. If I don't go to work, how will I fill my stomach? How will I pay my rent? How will I pay my auto's rent? I'm a poor man. How will I eat? Only if I earn can I eat.
Delhi is in its dry period, when emissions from cars and factories hang in the winter air. Smoke from farmers burning their fields after harvest lingers all day.
I use a mask. I use a cloth to cover my face. When I feel the problems acutely, I do deep breathing and exercises. That is what I do.
This month, the particulate matter in Delhi's air has hit levels 40 times over the WHO's safety levels. And many say government efforts to reduce air pollution are not working.
There is no question of it getting better. Last year it was not this bad. This year it's worse. Next year it'll be even worse than now.
In Delhi, some outdoor work has been stopped and schools have moved classes online. Flights have been diverted for poor visibility, but so many throughout northern India must struggle through the haze. Christy Lou Stout, CNN.
Coming up next on Nebraska Nightly.
Husker hoops are busy in action.
And Nebraska football just one win away from a bowl game. Will they make it? All after the break.
The need for blood never stops. At Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood. But imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
As soon as I kicked one of my buddies in the head, I was like, yeah, we gotta go after that.
I take back what I said.
Hey, you done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNM.
Welcome back. Husker Sports has a busy weekend ahead with a home volleyball game and an away football game. Nebraska Nightly's Sarah Pearson has more on game recaps and what's ahead. Sarah?
Nebraska volleyball was back at home last night after a 4-game road trip. The Huskers looking to remain undefeated in Big Ten play as they took on Minnesota. It was Military Appreciation Night at the Bob. Let's pick things up in the third set. Match tied 1-1. Here's Taylor Landfair, the Minnesota transfer, getting a kill off her former team. Huskers lead 16-14. A few plays later, Riley is going to set up Rebecca Alec on the slide. Nebraska takes the third, 25-22. Let's head to the fourth. Harper Murray with a nice roll shot out of the middle. 10-4 Huskers. Nebraska rolling, and Landfair is lighting up the night. She rips one cross court and down for the kill. This one's definitely worth missing basketball practice for. Here is match point for the Big Red. Riley with a quick set to Alec, and she tips it right down into the donut. Nebraska feeling golden as they take down Minnesota in 4 sets. Bergen Riley spoke after the match on grinding out tough wins.
I think we just have a culture of trust in each other and trust that we're going to give it our all every single day. And if we don't have our all, then someone has our back and they'll pick that up for us. And I think that's just what makes this team so special, is we can rely on each other when those days do get hard.
From the Terraflex to the hardwood, Husker hoops in action against FDU. First half, Bryce Williams drives and gets the one-handed jam. Nebraska leads 11-7. 7 minutes to play in the calf. Here's Connor Asijan knocking down the triple to put the Huskers up by 13. Second half, good feed down low to Raleigh Rooster, and he lays it in to make it 47-31 in favor of the Big Red. 9 minutes to go. Check out the no-look pass from Bryce Williams. Gavin Griffiths finishes it 65-49. Huskers rolling. With 2 minutes to go, Bear K Buchtengel putting on the spin moves. Nebraska goes on to win with a final score of 86-60 to improve to 3-0 on the season. Head coach Fred Hoiberg was pleased with his team's performance, but there is a lot more to be done.
And we're going to have to go up there with our hard hat on, and in lunch pail it's going to be one of those types of games. But this is a really good team that we're facing, and I think today was good for our confidence. Hopefully we can carry that over, but the message in the locker room is get over it quick. We got to get back to work tomorrow.
Nebraska football is still just 1 win away from their first bowl appearance since 2016. Hoping to help seal their fate will be new offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson. Head coach Matt Rule had high praise for the new Husker hire yesterday.
This wasn't some short-term splash thing. This was to me an opportunity to make an epic move that can push us into the next tier. This is our first game on that push.
Huskers hit the road to face USC tomorrow afternoon.
Nebraska comes in at 5-4, while the Trojans sit at 4-5. The last time these two teams faced each other was the 2014 Holiday Bowl, where USC won 45-42. Kickoff is set for 3, and the game can be seen on Fox.
You know, we're in such an exciting time with like the ending of fall sports, the beginning of Husker basketball and all of that. I want to circle back to volleyball. We are hosting Indiana on Saturday, yes?
Yeah, Nebraska looking to continue undefeated play for volleyball. They've been doing really well this year. Hopefully they can keep it up this weekend.
Cool. Well, thank you, Sarah. Coming up next on Nebraska Nightly.
The Little Mermaid Broadway musical comes to the Lead Center.
And a play looking into the power of PR in the White House, all after the break.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Well, it's a big weekend here in Lincoln. Joel Bierbauer is here with all the details. Joel?
You still have a chance to catch the Little Mermaid Broadway musical at the Lead Center. This astonishing performance based on the 1989 animated Disney classical run from November 15th through the 17th. Tickets and showtimes are available on the Lead Center website. Brought to you by the Nebraska Repertory Theater comes POTUS, a fascinating glimpse into the power of PR within the White House. The play will run from November 15th to the 17th and November 20th to the 24th and will be shown at the Temple Building. Looking to add a little pep into your pregame ritual? Stop by the Mill Coffee and Bistro from 5:30 to 7:30 this November 16th to get an exclusive drink special before the volleyball match against Indiana at Bob Devaney Sports Center. That's all for entertainment. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Joel. Well, before we go, let's have one last look at this week's weather. Logan?
Yeah, taking a look at your forecast for the next 7 days, we'll be seeing, as throughout the weekend, probably seeing those temperatures in the 60s, maybe the 50s, so more above average, as Monday will be our best chance for rain, and we'll be seeing 56 degrees there. That'll be widespread on Monday, while from Tuesday on, we'll be seeing those temperatures start to cool down, a little cooling trend, but temperatures should be as low as 39 and up back into the 40s. So if you're doing anything, I'd say do it this weekend if you want better temperatures and some better weather.
I keep thinking I'm going to need my winter coat every single day. Will wear it and then it's too warm.
So back and forth, we never know what to expect.
That's the weather in the Midwest for you, changing all 4 seasons in one day.
I mean, I just wish I was at USC for the game this weekend, and then I wouldn't have to worry about wearing my coat.
Yeah, probably not there, probably a little warmer than it is here, but with Nebraska, it's still surprising that we haven't seen really cold temperatures yet to really warrant a winter coat. It's still probably just jacket weather.
Yeah, especially for November. Surprising.
Well, I'm not complaining, but
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.
we will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.